Hey, Daniel, a simple man of God, and I think today it's time to talk about a lot of things, but yes, this is spurred a little bit by the Las Vegas shooting, Mandalay Bay. I've had a lot of people asking me this week, why? What's going on? And I actually read a really good article that talks about why mass shootings like this happen, especially because it's men. You don't really hear about women doing this. And the big thing that this guy said is that things like this happen because of loneliness. We need to combat loneliness. I don't think that's wrong. I think that is very true. And some suggestions were made in this article about how to combat loneliness. And a big one is, guys, don't be afraid to share your feelings. Guys, don't be afraid to interact with people. And guys, let's remember we need to play, have fun, not just poker night or video games, but actually get outside, maybe do some rough and tumbling, something like that. And I don't disagree. I think those are all very important things that need to be done. That being said, I think it missed the biggest part. And the biggest part would actually be, why do we become lonely? How can people do this? I know of one apologist out of Biola who actually loves saying that, is it really inhuman if people do things because they're human and they did it? I think we need to remember that there is something else. There is something that pushes people to do these bad things. And if we turn to Jeremiah 17, verse 9 in particular, God tells us why people do these things. Because the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? We really don't get it because we fail to realize humans are sick and deceitful. We can't do it on our own. And unfortunately, there isn't anything we can do about it. Fortunately, there is somebody who can. You know where I'm going with this. Because in verse 10, God says, I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind to give everyone according to his ways and according to the fruit of his deeds. So this tells us God does understand our heart. When he asked in verse 9, who can understand it? The answer is, God can. So what is the answer then? Job explained it long before he ever lived on earth. But he said in chapter 19 of his book, for I know that my Redeemer lives. He knows his God lives. Our Redeemer is Jesus Christ. The only way humans will change is if we turn and trust in Jesus. There's a whole gospel message behind this. That's actually kind of the bulk of the gospel message. We are horribly messed up. We do crazy things and nobody understands why. And yet, while we are all horribly messed up, God still loved us enough to come down here and redeem us, to take our sin, to cure our sick hearts. He did this by living a perfect life that wasn't messed up, and then getting messed up by dying on the cross. And that death is what has saved us. That's it. So it's horrible that these things happen. And while God is in control, he is not the cause of these things. It is our own sinful, wicked hearts. So let's remember that. These things happen because of us. We only have ourselves to blame. We need to remember at any moment something could happen in our lives that could take us down that path. Nobody expected this guy to do this in Las Vegas, and he did it. Things happen. It could be us. But thankfully, our Redeemer lives. He is willing to come in, help us, change us, cure our sick hearts. Okay? those are some quick thoughts. I could definitely go much deeper into this, but I won't for now. That's what I've got for you. This is a simple man of God signing off. God bless you. See you later. Alright, if you really like what you've been seeing, subscribe, because then you'll be able to get lots of other updates. Could you hear that car? I could. Anyway,